What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos, and today we're back in the battle chamber. We have David on the left playing starter deck Gogeta, and we have Graham on the right playing the super overpowered baby Vegeta or Vegeta baby leader. So we're kind of going to get right into the action a little bit here. Players are rolling to see who goes first. Cards have already been drawn. Life has already been placed. David is going to start by charging a burst attack Son Gohan and passing to Graham. Graham is going to draw for turn. Charge a... Ooh, what a spicy 5-drop Gogeta from Tournament of Power, especially the SPR, and just pass to David. That's a nice looking card there. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, so Graham forgot to attack. So he's going to just quickly attack to draw a card, and David's going to take that life. Now it's David's turn. Kind of a little bit of a mix-up there. So let's see what David decides to charge. So we're back, after the new year. It has been a little hectic. I do appreciate the patience, but, we're going to start putting more content, moving forward for 2019 here. It's just been kind of busy and a little hectic, settling back in at work and getting ready for the Atlantic City event. So David does charge his first blue energy, being a Sensu Bean. Let's see what he decides to do with his turn as far as attacks. But like I said before, we're getting ready for a big 2019 here. Ooh, a throwback. David's going to play the Kaba? Is he going to play the Kaba? Oh, he's going to tap a red to play the Intensifying Power Trunks, which makes a little bit more sense because it swings for early critical, which is what you want. He's going to take a life and swing at Baby, or Vegeta Baby, for 15k crit. Let's see if Graham decides to take this or combo out. So I said it earlier in the beginning of the video. He is going to Revenge Death Ball here to kill that Trunks, which is super strong. I mean, Revenge Death Ball is... It's so good, and I said in the beginning of the video, Baby is kind of overpowered because of its access to all of those good red defensive cards like Revenge Death Ball and After Image Technique. Just has really good synergy with all those negates and all those counterplays so that it can remove threats off of the board. Revenge Death Ball is just so good because it reduces your opponent's battle card by 15k, so it just kills it off the board if it's 15 or less, which is huge, and After Image being a minus 10k really does stop Storm. So but I think Baby's going to be pretty strong moving forward, especially in the meta. Speaking of After Image, I do apologize for the glare, but that is the second card that Graham has put in his charge. So he's sitting at 2 red energy. He's going to tap 1 to play an M2, which is another card that helps you get rid of those little weenies, like Crisis Crusher and stuff like that. He's going to attack into David, draw a card. Let's see if he decides to combo up on this attack. He's going to use the M2 to reduce the leader to 5k. David's going to take the life. Graham's going to tap his second red energy to attack, activating Intensifying Power Trunks. He's not going to take the life from the ability because David did play a Dimension Magic to negate the attack. So he's just going to end there. David's going to draw for turn, and let's see what he decides to charge for his third energy. So, a lot of you are probably asking, why is it starter deck Gogeta? And if you take the leader as a whole and you build a deck around it properly, it is not a bad leader. It has a lot of good offensive capabilities on the flip side. So, I think, David was enamored with this, of course, and, we like making things work as best as we can, so... you try to experiment here. You do have the luxury of doing that when it's a local tournament. You can play things that are slightly off the cuff. So he wanted to experiment with the Gogeta leader, and I give him all the credit to it. It definitely sounds like it could be a lot of fun. Blue leaders just have a lot of good cards that they can use, and when you have good mechanics like, plus power and double strike on the back sides and stuff like that, it could be pretty interesting. And then just Baby is just a solid choice. So he does charge his second red. That's a Dig a Deep Vegeta. He's going to tap that 1 red to play Intensifying Power Trunks. Swing to leader. Let's see if there's any counters. Nothing. Graham's tapped out. He's going to take the life, putting himself to 15k crit. Let's see if he decides to combo up. Graham is sitting at 6 life, or 7 life it looks like. So he does have a pretty high total. He is just going to take the 1 damage. And yes, that is a Baby Subdual. Your eyes do not deceive you. That is Baby Subdual. It's a techie card. It's a tech choice of Grams, but if used properly, it can be pretty devastating, especially when you steal your opponent's cards, especially in Shenron. Like, stealing Shenron is pretty good. So, yes, you are seeing Baby Subdual. So David's going to tap 1 here to play Black Mass Saiyan, probably just to get value off that second energy so he can awaken and untap 2. It does kind of prevent Graham from doing Chain Zeno next turn, but then again, he could just kill the Black Mass Saiyan with Baby Vegeta's leader ability, and I guess he's just kind of forcing him to do that. It depends on what he decides to do, but that would be the interaction. You kind of play Black Mass Saiyan so that when your opponent decides to change Zeno, they have to discard 2 cards. So they would draw 3 and then discard 2. They would draw 5 and then discard 2, being only at 3 cards. So that's the reason behind that. But David is going to swing 5k into 5k, which is smart because it kind of forces Graham, if he does want to chain Zeno, he'll have to play another intensifying and then the chain attack. So he's going to have to commit more energy to it. So that was a pretty smart play there. Obviously, you're not gonna use the BMS effect to take a life to make it go up to 15 because you don't really need to. Worst case scenario, if Graham decided to save that Trunks, he would have had to commit 1 card for combo, which is fine. So Dave's gonna awaken here to the strong side and untap 2 energy. Draw a card for attack, and the Gogeta leader on the Awakened side has 2 different abilities. When you have 3 energy, it gains plus 5,000. When you have 5 or more, it gains double strike. So it can swing for 20k double strike. And also, it has a built-in effect where it's an auto. I believe you can discard a card, and then your opponent can only negate once for the turn. So, like, if they try to counter or something, or if they try to negate your attack, you can activate his effect, so that could be the only negate that they play that turn. So it's pretty good because it prevents your opponent from continuing to negate your attacks and just kind of make sure that you push your damage through. So let's see here. So yeah, so Graham, it looks like Graham took the damage. He's gonna pass turn now. Dave's gonna pass to Graham. He's good because he's got his energy back up. You really can't Zeno here effectively. I mean, you can, but it's going to be interesting to see the sequencing of it. So Graham is going to charge the 3-drop Kaba from Tournament of Power, which is a really good card. It's a 15k 3-drop that can attack active battle cards, and its attacks can't be negated. So it's pretty good. You know, when you have a red leader, it gains 5k, so it becomes a 20k swing that can hit active battle cards, which is really good this format, just in general. So Graham is going to take that life to activate Baby's effect to kill the BMS. And let's see, he's going to play Dende, which is just a cantrip, draw 1, which is fine because you want to get value off your 2 energy. And obviously Dende hurts, decks that play objection. So, when you're playing Baby, you kind of don't want your opponent to ramp. He's going to play the second Dende to draw another card, which is fine because you're getting full value off your Awaken. So he basically just drew 2 cards for free. And you're putting 10k worth of combo power on the board, without making too much of an investment. So he is going to flip to the Awakened side, untap 2 energy, and he's going to extend his plays. Now, the Vegeta on the Awakened side is pretty good. It's auto draw when you attack, and its effect is you can reduce one of your battle cards by 15,000 power, and then target 2 of your opponent's battle cards and reduce them by 10,000. So it's a lot of anti-Storm, a lot of like Goten Bardock stuff. You could just kind of reduce all their stuff. And, I've played against Graham using Storm, and it's not the easiest matchup in the world. Like, you would think Storm just steamrolls everything in the format right now. But playing against Baby, you really do have to play against, or I should say, you have to play around, Revenge, Deathball, and After Image. So it's kind of interesting, that nobody's really thought about it. But, so he is going to swing with Baby to leader, draw a card, activate M2 to kill the intensifying. So it's 15 to 15. It doesn't look like David negated the attack, so let's see if Graham decides to combo. He does have all 3 of his energy available, and he has the 2 Dendes on board, so he is going to combo 1 Dende going up to 20. And David's just going to snap take that damage, going down to 3. Let's see if Graham commits anything to the board. Nope, he's just going to pass. David's going to draw for turn. And let's see what he decides to charge for turn number 4 here. He definitely wants to get one more energy down. Like, he wants to be able to survive to get to the turn where he has 5 energy, because then your Gogeta gets double strike. So let's see how he decides to get there. You obviously can't ramp because you see Dende there, so you don't want to do that, because once you ramp once, Dende can just kill your energy for free every turn, or for 2 energy rather. So you definitely don't want to do that. So he charges the Kaba, giving him 3 reds and 1 blue. Let's see what he decides to play here. Graham has the Dende on board. His energy is fully up. He's probably got a good amount of cards in his hand, so you can expect the Revenge Death Ball and an after image. David is going to attack leader into leader, auto draw. Doesn't look like Graham has negated the attack. So now on to the offensive combo step. Let's see what David decides to do here. He does have all his energy, so he can do a few things, and he does have a blue leader, so he can always unyielding. So he's gonna use the Champa. So right now Gogeta is sitting at 30k double strike. Let's see if he decides to commit any more combo to it, just kind of sneak that damage in. Graham is gonna super combo, draw a card, go up to 25. Did I not add that up right? Graham would need 5 more, because maybe I just don't know the card then. I'm pretty sure when you have 3 or more energy, or maybe it's 5 or more. I think it's 5 or more. It gets 5k in double strike. Yeah, so then it would have been 25 double, and then Graham super comboed with the Bulma to go to 25, and then the Dende to clear. So he's good. I got to read that card. I thought it was he gained 5k when he was at a certain amount, and then he gained double strike when he was at another amount, but I could be totally wrong. It could just be 5 energy. With that being said, it is Graham's turn again. Let's see what he decides to charge here for his 4th energy. Quick shout out to Level 1 Games. This is where we're having the tournament here. It's our weekly locals on Tuesdays. If you guys live in the northern Jersey area, feel free to drop in. Tuesday nights at 7, Level 1 Games on Route 23 South in Pompton Plains, New Jersey. Shout out to those guys over there for being so cool and letting us get all this footage here. It's like my home away from home. It's like a second adopted local. Really met some cool people playing there. Lots of fun. Lots of good, competitive atmosphere. So it's nice to have multiple places to go and play Dragon Ball Super card game. Graham is going to attack leader into leader, draw a card. Let's see if David decides to negate. He's not going to. So he's going to tap down the M2 to put Gogeta to 10. And let's see if Graham decides to combo anything up on this attack. So it's right now 15 from Baby into 10 Gogeta. Doesn't look like Graham is comboing. He does have all of his energy available. So you could definitely expect him to play a couple of cards this turn. Let's see if David looks like he's going to combo out of this. North Kai, draw, super combo. So he's good. Puts him back up to 20. He survives by 5k. Yeah, I kind of figured that was coming down. 2 energy for Yamcha is really good at this point in the game because it leaves you 2 up for defense. And Yamcha just gets so much value. He's a 15k 2-drop that looks like top 3 for an Earthling. It's just a really good card. It's kind of like a Goten, except you get to shuffle your deck, which is good. Placing the 2 cards at the bottom of the deck with the Goten can be good sometimes, but I feel like you want to shuffle just to mix it up. You don't want to really stack your stuff towards the bottom. But Yamcha just gets insane value here because he's a 2-drop that pressures, and you could just constantly he replaces himself unless you whiff, which is a possibility, but it's just a really good card. So David is going to combo out, and Graham's going to pass. David's going to draw for turn here. Let's see what he decides to charge. Now, this is his big turn, because turn 5 is when Gogeta gets his effects. So it turns on his pump and his double strike. Graham is sitting at 4 life, so it's going to be interesting to see how David sequences this play to try to kill, because this is kind of your kill turn, right? This is kind of the turn you want to kill your opponent. But you got to be wary because he does have 2 energy up. He can use Revenge Death Ball. He can use After Image. So David's going to charge a Kaba, giving him 4 reds and 1 blue. Attack to leader, auto draw, and there goes the After Image. Now, After Image isn't a counter attack. It's not a negate, essentially. It's a counter that you use in the attack window, and what it does is it reduces your opponent's card by 10k and gives your one of your cards plus 40k. So right now, Baby is sitting at 55k, and Gogeta's sitting at 20. So if David wants to do damage, he's going to have to combo up to 55 to sneak in some damage. And at that point, you're going to be committing too many resources. So essentially, it's like a pseudo negate. It doesn't really stop the battle from happening. Like, it doesn't just stop the battle at a halt. Like, the battle still progresses, but because you're putting yourself at such a huge total, you know, it does become a little more difficult to combo up to do that damage. So Dave's going to tap 4 red and play the chain attack, bringing in a Digging Deep Vegeta, which is a very interesting play here. Both great cards, but Digging Deep does have to take life to get full value. So let's see if he decides to do that, because he's already at a pretty low total. But he's going to go Chain Attack into Yamcha, which is smart, because you want to get that Yamcha off the board so that Graham doesn't continue to get resources every single turn. So right now it's 20 to 15. Let's see if Graham decides to negate. He still has a red energy open, so he can use a Revenge Death Ball, or he can, an After Image. So he's going to reduce the Digging Deep to 5 and then give the Yamcha plus 40. So it's 20 from Chain Attack to 55 Yamcha. Obviously no combos, because that's just a huge amount. And now the Digging Deep is sitting at 5k, so it doesn't really threaten, because even if you activate his effect off of the attack, it's only going to restand and gain 5k, making it a 10k swing. So it's not even worth attacking at that point, because you're going to put yourself down one more life. So, you know, After Image is a very strong card for these red decks, because it sometimes, like in this situation, it just got you away from 2 attacks. You just avoided 2 swings by your opponent. The first swing with the over combo, and the second swing with the minus 10k. That's very, very strong. People don't realize how strong that is. You know, it's very, very good. And the fact that it's a sparking negate, you know, if you have your requirements in your drop area, you can just play it for free by taking a life. So you don't necessarily have to have energy up to play that card. It's a very, very good card. So it looks like David's just trying to decide what he wants to do here before passing turn. I mean, he does have 1 blue up, which I'm assuming you would leave for defense at this point. But it looks like he really is determined to kill that Yamcha, because Yamcha's just going to keep generating value every turn that he's on the board. And it's just such a good card. Cards like that, always add cards to your hand, they're just very, very good. Because the first turn you break even, but every turn after that you +1. So it's always going to be good. But it does look like he's attacking. And I would assume you'd attack into Yamcha here. He's going to take the life to restand him, giving him a plus 5k. So he's a 10k swing. He's a 10k swing right now into the Yamcha. And he will get 1 more attack out of it. Super combo going up to 20, draw a card. So it's 20 to 15. The first attack fizzled because he was lower, but I guess he ripped the super combo off a life. So he's going 20 into 15. Let's see if Graham decides to save his Yamcha. He only needs to commit either a super combo or 2 5Ks. He's just going to let it die. No really point in throwing cards at him. You know, he's in control at this point. David's got a really low life total. Graham is still sitting at 4 life. And he's going to be charging his 5th energy here. So that's a lot of energy right now in the game. You know, usually kill turns are like 2 or 3 with all these storm decks. So getting to 5, charge 5 energy is really, really good. Let's see what Graham decides to place down in charge. It is going to be a Revenge Death Ball. So he's got 5 red actives. He has M2. He's going to play the Chain Attack off of the Intensifying. And he's going to bring in the Pan, giving everything double strike. So right now, Trunks is a 25k double, Leader's a 20k double, Pan's a 15k barrier blocker, and he does have M2. So this is your kill turn right here. So Leader into Leader. I'm assuming he's not going to attack battle cards. It doesn't make sense. They're tapped out. So his auto would trigger, giving him a draw. David is going to Dimension Magic, which is fine because it's essentially free. He only has 1 energy, so he can't untap anything. So that saves him from 1 attack. He's going to Dimension Magic the Chain Attack. So I believe he's sitting at 2 life, if I'm not mistaken. And at this point, Graham has 2 red energy up with a defensive blocker. He is going to activate Baby's effect and reduce him. So he targeted his chain attack to reduce him to 10 and then reduce those other 2 cards to, well, Digging Deep would be at 5 and chain attack would be at 10. So he's swinging with Pan and just shotgunning into the Pan. 15, 25, 35, 40, double strike into 10. So that's kind of huge. So Bean, which is a good card, going back up to 5, which is kind of rough because you M2 just reduced you. So it's like the Bean is a wash at this point. Tap a blue to play Soul Punisher, which gives him plus 15k. So he's sitting at 30. So he does need to get 20 more, it looks like. Oh, it's not even, it's even more. It's 15, 20, 30, 45. It's 45, so David needs to get to 50, and that's game 1. So you can see how Baby Vegeta is kind of like a hybrid strategy. You're controlling on defense because of the power of your negates and your active battles. So the power of After Image and Revenge Death Ball. So that's really good for defense. But then on offense, your strategy is basically go wide. So you're just pooping out as many battle cards as possible to just put pressure on your opponent. But the good thing about it is your battle cards really are at low cost. If you saw that previous kill turn there that Graham won, he played Intensifying Power Trunks for 1 energy and then evolved Chain Attack for 2, bringing out Pan. So he put 2 battle cards on the board for 3 energy, and 2 of his attackers had double strike. That's insane value, especially if you're leaving energy up to play defense. You kind of want to leave 2 energy up in Baby. That's a sweet spot because it will allow you to play Revenge Death Ball and After Image without having to take a life. So those are 2 really powerful counter battle cards or active battle cards that have interaction on your opponent's turn. So Baby's a really, really strong leader. You know, you're not really playing the Baby cards themselves, like, you know, the Union Absorption and all that other stuff. You're just kind of playing it as just a good, solid red leader, and then just playing some really good red cards to complement its strategy. So we are going to move on to game 2, which is great. You know, we're extending this match here. We're extending this gameplay so you can see, you know, the interactions between, you know, how these 2 leaders would combat each other. It's really good to, what's the word I'm looking for? So I like doing the commentary and I like doing the recording of the videos because it's kind of like if you're a professional athlete, you watch film or you watch tape, you kind of just watch replays and see, you know, these videos do help us as well, you know, as, you know, the players, because we get to rewatch them and see where we've misplayed or where we've played things that we shouldn't have played. It just kind of helps us along the whole process of just getting better strategically. So as much as I love putting content for you, the viewer, as far as entertainment is concerned, I also like putting out content that's going to give you good information as well as us as on the same token. So you guys are enjoying this content, but we also have the ability to go back and watch it and just kind of see what mistakes were made, if any. So I thank you guys so much for all the support. I'm glad that you enjoy Battle Chamber as much as I do. You know, they're probably my favorite videos to make. It does take a little more effort to make them because of the editing and the commentary, but you know, if I were to say, you know, if I were to separate myself from everybody else that posts Dragon Ball Super content, I would say that the best content I post is Battle Chambers. So I thank you guys for all the support. Without you, this wouldn't be a thing. So let me know in the comments section down below how you feel about the Battle Chamber series. What are your thoughts on these 2 leaders? And feel free to suggest or recommend any leaders that you guys would like to see as part of the Battle Chamber. You know, there's never going to be a wrong answer or anything like that. You know, we try to play and we try to get as much different content as possible on this channel. So if there's a leader that you want to see played, just let me know in the comment section down below and we'll work on it. Both players are shuffling up here, getting ready for game two. Quick shout out to Computer and Gaming Universe. My partners over there, they've been with us since day one. And, without their love and support, we wouldn't make any of this possible here at No Counters, No Combos. So shout out to Computer and Gaming Universe, 256 Ferry Street. Locals are Monday nights at 7. If you guys live in the area, come on down. It's really competitive. It's a really good scene. A lot of players, lots of good players go there. So if you're looking to fine-tune your Dragon Ball Super strategies, just come on down and give us a shot. So just waiting here to get ready for game two. Looks like David might have gone away from the chair. He's AFK right now. He's AFK. Quick, hit the alert response. So, obviously we're playing at level 1 games. So sometimes, we have to make sure that everybody's taken care of as far as customers and patrons inside the store. So sometimes that does happen, but we're back. We're back for some Game 2 action here. Let's see who's going to start. Players are setting up their lives. They've already post-mold, so we're going to get right into the action here. Game 2. Gogeta, starter deck Gogeta versus Vegeta Baby. And let's see if David can have a little bit more success going into Game 2. It looks like he's choosing to... It looks like he's deferring to Graham. So it looks like he's allowing Graham to go first, which is interesting. Graham's going to charge the pan for the 1 red energy and pass. David's going to draw for turn, and let's see what he decides to charge. He's going to charge a double strike Champa, giving him 1 red energy, which gives him access to intensifying power first turn, which is really good. Only problem is putting those 1-drops with 5k. Baby's just going to free kill them, so... You have to play them because they're basically your awakening cards, your self-awakening cards. But Baby's just so strong with the ability to just do that. So swing the leader. Kaba is take a life, gain 15k double, gain 10k double. So it's 15k double swinging to leader right now. See if Graham decides to take that 2 damage. I mean, at this point, I don't think it would be bad to take that 2, but never mind. Revenge Death Ball it is. Such a powerful card. Such a powerful card. Just that interaction is just ridiculous. Gogeta on the front side is auto burst 2 draw when he attacks, so that's why, that was milled like that. He is going to attack into leader here. Graham is going to take the 1 damage, and at this point, David's just going to pass. Draw for turn, untap. Let's see what he decides to charge. Turn 2. Turn 2. Boom. Slaps out the Yamcha. I do apologize for the glare. Sometimes it just kind of happens. But that is Yamcha in energy. Leader into leader, auto draw. Let's see if... David really can't negate because he's tapped out. He doesn't have Sparking 5 for Dimension Magic. So this attack is successful. Let's see if Graham decides to offensive combo. No combos. David's just going to take the damage. Going down to 6 life. Graham is going to play Intensifying Power, swing at Gogeta, auto, take a life, 15k crit. Let's see if he combos up. I mean, if he has it, just tap it and give a double strike, right? Oh no, never mind. Because he was at 6 life. Yep, that's fine. So the David takes a life. It just happens to be a flute, which in my opinion, flute at 1, it just really doesn't seem worth it to play. I mean, if you need 1 spot in your deck, I can see why, but I just don't think it's worth it. So Graham's going to finish up by tapping his red energy to play Bob on pass turn. Dave's going to draw, untap, charge a bean. Oof, that hurts. Charge a bean, so he's got 1 blue, 1 red. And let's see what he decides to do this turn as far as committing to the board here. Let's see. He's sitting at 5 life. Graham is sitting at 6, so we're kind of even right now. So I'm sure hand advantage is in Graham's favor because he hasn't taken any critical damage. So let's see what happens here at this point. You do kind of see a sneak at David's hand there. He does have a double strike Champa. So let's see what he decides to play. He's got his leader swing to auto burst 2 and draw, which if I would probably do that first to try to see if you get a better play off the draw from the leader, so that you don't not waste your energy, but maybe there's a better play that you can make if you just reveal off the top, off of your draw. So let's see what happens here. It looks like he has about 4 or 5 in drop. So his sparking would be turned on for super combos and negates at this point. I guess he's just deciding whether or not he wants to. So he is going to tap the 1 red for the intensifying, which is fine. He's going to swing at... Interesting. Swinging at intensifying, taking the life, going up to 15 crit. He is in awaken range here. He wouldn't get full value if he flips over now, only untapping 1. Just interesting to see why he would go Trunks into Trunks when it's crit. I feel like that's a mechanic that you want to use on a leader, but I guess he just doesn't want to get Chain Zenoed next turn, so that doesn't make sense. So Graham just allows Trunks to die. He still has the Baba on board for the combo. Let's see if David decides to use that blue energy for something so he can awaken and then get full value off of the untap. That's what sometimes is tricky, like going second. You know, when you awaken so quickly and you're going second, you know, and you don't get the full value off of the untap, it does feel kind of bad sometimes. So David's just going to end his turn there and pass to Graham, which is very interesting, but we'll see how it plays out. He does have a blue up, so he has room for a negate. He's got room for beans. He could play some defense, so Graham is going to charge his 3rd energy here, being red. Tap 2 for the Yamcha, which is insane value. I love Yamcha. Great card. Baby into leader, auto draw. Let's see if David decides to negate this attack. I wouldn't at this point. Just try to combo out if you can. Because Yamcha is going to hit you for 5k more anyway, so if you really needed to use a negate this turn, you use it on the Yamcha. So Baba's going to combo, give it plus 5k, and draw a card. And then he also gets to reduce one of the battle cards by 5k, so it does destroy the Trunks. Now, the card that Graham drew off of the baby swing was from the leader swing. It wasn't from the combo with Baba, because Baba only allows you to draw when you combo with a human. Baby is not a human. So Yamcha into leader, top 3 for an Earthling. He adds the intensifying power. Rest of the cards go back in the deck to shuffle. Let's see if David... I don't think he negated, so let's see if Graham's going to offensive combo here before the defensive combo chain starts. So right now it's 15 into 10. David's sitting at 3 life. Is Graham going to combo into this Yamcha? I mean, if you throw 5k at it, you kind of... Oh, so David's just going to combo with the Champa going up to 20. And let's see if Graham decides to do anything else here. He's just going to pass turn. David's going to draw, untap. Let's see what we charge. Obviously, you're just going to charge red from here on out if you have it available. It just doesn't make sense to charge any more blue. So, second red, 2 red, 1 blue energy. This is that you have to awaken this turn. You just have to. You know, you want to get full value off those 2 energy. Graham is not untapped. He still has a red energy up. So he has room for a Revenge Death Ball or an After Image, depending on what he decides to do strategically. So it looks like David's just kind of deciding what he wants to play. He's going to tap 3 for the burst attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like he has about 7 cards in his hand, so that's interesting. He's going to awaken to untap 1 red and 1 blue. Let's see if he decides to commit more cards on a combo so he can get full value off of the Go-On. It's going to be interesting to see how he sequences that out. Leader swing. What's his target? Into leader, auto draw. So that's another card in his hand. So he's got to dump. If I counted right and he's got 7 or 8 cards in his hand, he's got to get rid of 3 to 4 cards just to turn Gohan back on. So he's going to tap the red to give it double strike and then Soul Punisher. So that's pretty insane. So 15, 25... 35, 40, 45 double crit. That's insane. I mean, that's what makes this leader worth playing, is the Soul Punisher Champa combo. So he's sitting at 50 double strike crit right now. Ooh, wow, he did it to him. That's insane. Graham's going to take the damage because there's really nothing he could do. But he is going to tap that 1 red energy to play Revenge Death Ball, killing the Gohan. So when David decides he can't attack right now because he doesn't have another battle card, he's not going to draw. He's not going to draw 2 cards when he attacks. So that's pretty smart on Graham's part, because it kind of just stopped David's play. And it really wasn't that much of a neg because he was at 6 life, so it put him at a nice, easy 4, so he can just flip this turn. Interesting. Graham is going to start his turn, draw a card on tap. Let's see what he decides to charge here, if anything. But you can see where the Soul Punisher Champa combo can be pretty devastating. But you just have to be cautious when you're playing against Baby because of all of those cards. Revenge Death Ball, After Image, all those cards can wreak so much havoc. And Baby does maintain a really good life total throughout the game. So it's not like he's taking all these hits to where that double crit is going to hurt him too much, Because he's still at 4, and Gogeta's, I think he's at 2 or 3. So he definitely has the advantage in energy here. Graham's going to charge a chain attack, giving him 4 reds. Let's see what he decides to do this turn. I mean, it's a pretty big turn because this is your awakened turn, so you're going to tap a red to play Intensifying Power. I smell the chain attack coming. I feel it in my gut that the chain attack is going to come down for extreme value here, and bring in what? Graham is shuffling his hand like a madman. Let's see what he decides to do here. I think David's sitting at 2 life, so it is pretty risky. It's pretty dangerous right now. Interesting. Intensifying Power Trunks into leader. Auto, take a life, 15k crit. Are you going to slap the Champa on this bad boy, giving him double crit for game? Really? Oof. Okay. 25 double strike critical into leader. Let's see, David. Are you you have to combo out. I mean, if you don't, you die. If you do not combo, you die. Let's see. Can he get there, fellas and ladies? Can he get there? He only has about, I would say, 3 or 4 cards in his hand. So he drops 3 5Ks going up to 30, surviving the attack. Here comes Chain Attack. Graham is tapped out. Here comes the Gohan. Please awaken and untap. Boom. Awaken, untap 2. So now you can swing with Gohan for full value, draw 2 cards, and you still have your leader and your Yamcha. And this Gohan is crit, so he's not gonna gain a card in his hand from his life. So he's gonna be going down to 1 life. Oof! And he rips a super combo. Oh my lord, Yamcha is, oh my gosh, that's like the worst thing that you can hit a super combo off of life, but. Oh, so he was at 3. Okay, so let's see if this is game here. Auto draw. He whiffed on the Yamcha, which is not fun. But that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, you could see. I mean, obviously, Baby is just built to disrupt your opponent. Like it's just how it is. So if you guys are looking for that type of play style, try it out. Baby's a really good leader. It has a lot of utility, has a lot of really strong effects, a lot of good defensive cards, as well as offensive possibilities, and that's what you need in this game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow us on all our social media platforms that you'll have down in the description below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys want to see in future Battle Chambers. We will see you next time. Be there or be squared.